Today, we're diving into a hot topic that's been buzzing around the bushcraft community for a while now. With the rise of bushcraft's popularity, especially in recent years, more and more people are trying to learn these survival skills on their own, sometimes without the right guidance. This brings up some serious questions about safety, responsibility, and the risks of underestimating the wilderness. So, I want to ask you, should bushcraft education be available to everyone? Or is it something that should be reserved for those who already know what they're doing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but first, let's dive deep into this topic and explore the different perspectives. As bushcraft continues to grow in mainstream popularity, there's been a surge of people eager to embrace the wilderness. YouTube channels, survival schools, and social media pages have flourished, giving even the most novice individuals a window into the world of outdoor survival. While this newfound passion is inspiring, it comes with risks. Many beginners venture out into the wild with minimal preparation, and without the necessary skills, they may find themselves in dangerous situations. But is the solution to restrict bushcraft education to a select group, or should it be accessible to everyone? Let's break down both sides of this argument and see where the balance might lie. First, let's talk about why bushcraft has exploded in popularity. At its core, bushcraft taps into something primal, a desire to reconnect with nature, to unplug from modern life, and to develop the self-reliance that's been largely lost in our digital age. There's something undeniably satisfying about knowing you can start a fire, build a shelter, or find food in the wild with just a few basic tools and knowledge. This allure has brought thousands of people from all walks of life into the bushcraft fold. Social media and YouTube have amplified this trend. Content creators, many of whom are seasoned experts, have made bushcraft skills seem attainable for anyone. But as more people try to emulate what they see online, the gap between knowledge and practice becomes apparent. There's a reason experts make it look easy. They've spent years honing their skills. For the untrained, the wild is unforgiving, and mistakes can lead to serious consequences. Should we make these skills more accessible so that everyone can feel prepared in nature, or are we encouraging dangerous overconfidence? Now, let's look at the argument for making bushcraft education accessible to everyone. Many advocates believe that knowledge is power. The more people who are taught proper bushcraft techniques, the fewer people will make dangerous mistakes in the wilderness. If bushcraft is going to be popular, then education needs to match the demand. Schools, workshops, and online tutorials could provide structured learning environments where people can safely develop their skills. Some even argue that bushcraft should be integrated into school curriculums. Just like basic first aid, knowing how to survive in nature could be a vital life skill, especially in an era of increasing natural disasters and unpredictable environments. When we gatekeep knowledge, it only increases the chances that beginners will make errors out of ignorance. By making bushcraft education widely available, we can create a culture of safety and respect for the wilderness. When people know better, they do better. But here's the catch. Just because knowledge is available doesn't mean it will always be used responsibly. Even the most well-informed individuals can make poor choices when under pressure or when overestimating their abilities. On the flip side, many experienced bushcrafters argue that opening the floodgates of education might do more harm than good. They claim that wilderness survival isn't something you can just learn from a video or a weekend workshop. It requires years of hands-on practice, mentorship, and respect for the natural world. Bushcraft involves a deep understanding of not only tools and techniques, but also the unpredictable nature of the wild. Beginners who head out into the forest armed only with basic knowledge might not fully appreciate the complexity and danger of the situations they could face. Harsh weather, difficult terrain, and wildlife are all factors that can turn a simple camping trip into a life-threatening ordeal. Another risk is that some people may develop a false sense of security. They might think, I watched a YouTube video on fire starting, so I'm good to go. But survival situations are rarely so straightforward. For the unprepared, one small mistake, like not packing enough food, getting lost, or injuring themselves, can escalate quickly. This brings up an important question. Should there be stricter guidelines or prerequisites for those who want to learn bushcraft, or should we trust individuals to make the right decisions for themselves? So, how do we balance the desire for accessible education with the need for responsible bushcraft practice? One possible solution could be a tiered system of education. Much like how we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels for other hobbies and skills, bushcraft could follow a similar structure. Beginners could start with basic skills like fire starting, shelter building, and knife safety in controlled environments, with clear warnings about the risks of venturing into more complex terrain without further training. As people advance in their skills, they could take more intensive courses, maybe even require certification to participate in more challenging outdoor experiences. This way, we ensure that people are progressively learning in a safe, structured manner without feeling overwhelmed or overconfident. Some argue that this approach would also help foster a deeper respect for the wilderness. If people are educated properly, they'll not only be safer but also more likely to protect and conserve natural spaces. When we understand the dangers and the beauty of nature, we're more inclined to treat it with the respect it deserves. But is it realistic to expect everyone to go through structured training, especially with so much information available online? Now, let's address the counterargument that some people are making. Some bushcrafters believe that wilderness survival skills should remain somewhat exclusive, taught only to those who are truly serious about learning and practicing these techniques. They argue that by keeping bushcraft more niche, we prevent unqualified individuals from getting themselves into trouble. In this view, bushcraft isn't just a set of skills. It's a lifestyle, a commitment, and a deep connection with the environment. It's not something you can just dip your toes into. It requires dedication, respect, and continuous learning. Those who enter the world of bushcraft with this mindset are less likely to make reckless mistakes because they understand the gravity of the challenges they face. Exclusive education also ensures that those who are teaching these skills are experts themselves. As the demand for bushcraft knowledge increases, we've seen an influx of self-proclaimed experts who may not have the credentials to teach safely. This creates a dangerous scenario where misinformation spreads, putting more people at risk. So, should bushcraft remain a somewhat exclusive discipline to maintain its integrity, or is that gatekeeping valuable knowledge? One thing both sides of the argument can agree on is the importance of personal responsibility. Whether you believe bushcraft should be widely accessible or kept to a more experienced crowd, the onus is on the individual to know their limits. Venturing into the wild without the proper skills or preparation is reckless, and the wilderness doesn't forgive mistakes easily. Learning bushcraft is as much about humility as it is about skill. Nature is unpredictable, and even the most experienced outdoorsmen can find themselves in tough situations. Understanding that you don't know everything, and that you may need help, is a crucial part of being a responsible bushcrafter. We should encourage everyone who wants to learn bushcraft to do so, but with a heavy emphasis on safety, preparation, and respect for the environment. Maybe the key isn't in limiting who can learn, but in emphasizing the serious responsibility that comes with these skills. So, where do you stand on this issue? Should bushcraft education be open to all, or should it be reserved for those with prior knowledge and a serious commitment to learning? There are valid arguments on both sides, and ultimately, it comes down to how we approach the balance between accessibility and safety. What's clear is that bushcraft is here to stay. Its popularity is growing, and with it, the responsibility of teaching it properly. Whether you're a seasoned pro or someone just getting started, the most important thing is to respect the wilderness and never underestimate the challenges it can present. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this debate? Should bushcraft be taught to everyone, or should it remain a more exclusive skill set? Drop a comment below, and let's get the discussion going. And as always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.